So the years went on and on. Ernest grew up to be a young man. He attracted little notice from inhabitants of the valley. They saw nothing remarkable in his way of except that when the labor of the day was over, he still loved to gaze upon the great stone face. Their area was the only folly, but pardonably, because Ernest was industrious, kind, and neighborly, and did not know that the great stone face has become a teacher to him, and that the sentiment which was pressured in it would enlarge the young man's heart. Hate filled deeper with sympathies than other hearts. And they did not know that from this world come a better man that could be learned from books. Neither did Ernest know that the thoughts which came to him. So what happened here? I mean, if you are seeing this for the first time, welcome you guys. I was just so into the lesson, so I was just reading it off. So if you haven't seen the part 1, which I've already uploaded, go ahead and check that out, because you'll understand it better when you see this. So what happened here was, Ernest was a young man. He attracted something called as a great stone face in the valley, and then he was like, and all the people were like, there should be a man who has the same face, who should be born near here. So, and then a man came. 4 horses were there. It's like in the middle of the road it came, and then there was a window. He saw an old man with yellow skin, and he was so disappointed. And then after few years went on, and Ernest grew up to be a young man, and he attracted notices from the valley, and they literally saw nothing remarkable in his way, except that when the work of the day was over, he still wanted to gaze upon the great stone face. But because Ernest was very industrious, kind, and neighborly, he was just like his mom. And then the great stone face, and he did not know that the great stone face has become a teacher to him. He did not know how noble he was, and then which was a sentiment which would enlarge the young man's heart and fill him with deeper sympathies. So neither did Ernest know that his thoughts which came to him so naturally in the fields and the fireside were out of a higher tone than those which all men shared with him. A simple soul, simple as when his mother first told him the old story of the great stone face, and he beheld the marvelous face looking down the valley, and still wondered why its human likeness was so long in coming. So what he didn't, think that the old man who came was, the person of the great stone face. So he was like, he was so simple, just how he just had the same reaction when his mother told when he was young about the great stone face. And then how simple he was, and how marvelous. As he was watching the stone face for the first time, he was looking at it so, in passion. And then he was like, God, why isn't the human likeness was so long in coming? How many, days should I even wait for? He was like that. By the time poor Gathergold was dead and buried, his wealth, which was the body and spirit, his existence has disappeared before his death. Since his existence, he had disappeared before his death. Since the melting away of his gold, it had been generally agreed that there was no great likeness after that between the ruined merchant and the majestic face upon the mountain. So what happened was, by this time when this boy grew up, he was like Gathergold, which was the man who was really, rich, which we already saw. And he was like, Gathergold was the man who was like, there were 4 horses, and then it came on the middle of the road, and then there was a window where this boy saw him. So, yeah. So, and Gathergold was dead because he was at his like old times when he wanted to come to his a place where he was born and like enjoy his rest. So, Gathergold is gone. And so it so happened that another son of the valley had become a soldier many years before, and after a great deal hard fighting, he is now famous commander. He was known as the battlefield by his name of blood and thunder. Old and tired now, he had lately expressed his desire to return his native valley inhabitants. He will the old neighbors and their grown-up children prepared to welcome renowned commander. It was being said that prepared to welcome their renowned commander. He was like the commander, which was like the soldier who was been very old. He was coming, and he was called as the General Blood Thunder looked, and we don't know how he was looking. So, and the day of the arrival of the general or the soldier, everybody didn't even think that they will see the person, the great stone face again. He would come again. So everyone was so excited, and they were like shouting, "He is back!" And then they went to the feast. On the way, the other people of the valley left their work soon, and then they just came, and the soldiers stood on guards. Flags were like waved, and then Blood Thunder's face. However, he could be several voices. "It's the same face, exactly!" cried one man, danced for joy. "Wonderfully, that's like a fact." "That's like a fact," replied another. "And why not?" cried the third. "He is the greatest man of this or any other age, beyond the doubt." Ernest at last could see the general's face, and in the same he to the other side he could also see the great stone's face. If there was such a darkness, the crowd proclaimed, Ernest could not recognize it. "Fear not, Ernest," said his heart, as if the great stone face was whispering to him, "Fear not, Ernest will come." So they just ended the story with a suspense, and you guys can attempt all these questions. It's really nice, so you guys can do all that. So the part 2, the next chapter for this is going to be uploaded. So stay tuned. Bye bye.